Yo, hello, welcome back to The Elephant in the Room. My name is Aaron, and this is part 5 of the chapter 5 of the book The Origin of Most Problems. So now the TROM superhero will show us two tools, and the first one is the question mark, which is about detecting the traits. So basically, every time you are facing the world of goods and services, every time someone comes to you and says, hey, take this, or hey, use that, you should wait and ask yourself the simple question, what am I trading? And I mean, this tool is so brilliant because it cuts through all the bullshit and it is also so easy to remember. So let's check it out, let's see it in action in different domains. Free healthcare is coming and saying, hi, I can fix your health problems. The TROM superhero is like, wait, what am I trading? Free healthcare answers, unsure. We don't ask for any money and we want nothing from you. TROM superhero is like, really? Think well about it. Do you require me to be from a certain tribe in order to get this healthcare free service? And free healthcare is like, yes, we only provide for Danish people. And the TROM superhero says, that's it, so I have to trade. I have to become a Danish citizen in order to get this free healthcare service. Free healthcare is like, well, but I don't consider this as a trade. But the TROM superhero explains it is. You either say you provide trade-free healthcare for Danish citizens, or you are lying. And even then, are those Danish citizens required to be Christians or white, or to give you their data in order to use your service? So you see, this is how, if you wait, if you ask the simple question, what am I trading, you inquire about any service or good out there, so that you don't let any trade slip through. And one example of a trade-free healthcare service provides Doctors Without Borders, in a sense that they don't ask for anything in return. They just go to certain places in the world and help people there. And it doesn't matter which religion they have, which political affiliation, like what political opinion they have. It doesn't matter their skin color, so pretty much regardless of all these things. So trade-free. They even have an official statement saying, we offer assistance to people based on need. It doesn't matter which country they are from, which religion they belong to, or what their political affiliations are. We give priority to those in the most serious and immediate danger. And I mean, Doctors Without Borders is quite big because they operate globally and treat more than 10 million patients. And I mean, they're doing a fantastic job. And now you might say that, well, what about bad people? Like, what about people who kill other people? Or, people like Hitler. And the TROM superhero says, well, you should also treat those, because one day if you don't treat those, then another day you say you don't treat political activists or immigrants. So it's a slippery slope. And Doctors Without Borders and other organizations understand this very well, and that's why they also say we don't engage in such trades. We just treat human beings, because we are all human beings, all equal. So and another organization, another example of this is White Helmets, because they go into conflict zones, like in Syria, for example, and they also treat people from both sides. So it doesn't matter if you're a civilian or a terrorist, or from this side or from that side. They just help human beings, and that's it. And the TROM superhero says that I think that we all agree that this kind of healthcare, where doctors fix people without any trades involved, is the best healthcare we can provide, and the only healthcare that can survive, thrive, and truly help people. And so, a trade-free healthcare system is one similar to what humanitarian organizations provide nowadays, like Doctors Without Borders or White Helmets and the like. Imagine if this would be the approach worldwide for all people of this planet. You get sick and you get help without anyone concerned about your worldviews or asking for anything back. Trade-free healthcare. So now free food comes in and says, here you can eat. And the TROM superhero is like, wait, what am I trading? And free food answers, I guess nothing. The TROM superhero is like, do you want anything from me? Like, can I get food from you if I'm an atheist or if I come there naked? And free food is like, well, we indeed help Christians, but sure, you too are welcome to feast. We do ask you, however, to please wear clothes when you come here to eat. It is a basic decency thing. And the TROM superhero says, although I appreciate what you are doing, you too are starting to climb the slippery slope of trades. If you are trying to provide food mainly to Christians, then you will slip down the path of trades and will forbid food to other religions or non-religious people. You may not do it now, but you will probably do it in the future. Also, I understand that you might be bothered if someone comes here naked to get food, but that too is a dangerous view to hold on to. A stable, calm and educated mind would never care about such things, like what one wears or if they wear anything at all. And now free food is like, but TROM, what if you're riding a dangerous horse of ideas? What stops you from saying that I should also allow criminals here or people who are violent and so forth? Maybe if someone comes here holding a dead, decaying animal and asks for food, you may say that it is wrong for us to refuse our service because we should accept everyone. So you see, now it's a very interesting discussion because, yeah, like where do you draw the line? Where do you put the border in those things? And the TROM superhero explains, I emphasize with your concern, it is true that the line between trades or no trades can be blurry. But remember, we are talking about macro trades here. Someone being non-Christian and being refused a food service is a macro trade, meaning it is a very obvious trade. So it is also when someone simply does not want to wear clothes, but they need or want food and they are refused access to it. So that's also a macro trade because, like, of course you should get food no matter what you wear, right? However, a dead, decaying animal smells bad and it is a danger for other people's health, same as with violent people that pose a danger for others. But you brought up a very important point and something we need to explain. The most important thing here is to wait, to ask the important point which can lead to discussions. If you do not accept naked people to make use of your service, then the ones who want to walk naked will put weight on the weight and will spark a discussion around this as it's a trade for them. Your no naked humans allowed rule may have zero impact on 99% of people who normally wear clothes, so your service can be seen as trade-free by the vast majority. However, no such trade-free service is perfect and it should be subject to criticism from those who feel like they have to trade. So you see, it's all about the question. Like, another example is the language barrier, like if there is a service or good provided as trade-free, but then it's only available in Spanish or English or a language that I don't know, then I will put weight on the weight and say it's not trade-free for me. So maybe then the ones who are offering that service will also then consider to offer it in another language. That's what's being discussed in this example. Or the ones who are offering that service can also say, okay, we provide that service but only in this or that language. So like trade-free food for English-speaking people. And the awesome thing about this is that it will provide a world of abundance for everyone, the TROM superhero saying. This pushes a world of abundance for all because it demands it. It demands goods and services for all languages, all nationalities, all ages, all cultures, all beliefs, everyone. At times, things will get into micro trades and become hard to deal with, like maybe we cannot accept unvaccinated people to come and get food from us since that poses a danger for other people here. Or if someone smells really bad, that can pose a discomfort for others. But these are rare cases and they will be dealt with from case to case. and some of these we can rightfully call non-traits. We can simply call them scientific rules for the safety of our health, like in the case of unvaccinated people. Of course, like, people should be smart enough and educated enough to realize that vaccines are important to get rid of certain diseases and so on. And so a trait-free food service should provide food for everyone out there and should not care about what people believe, how they dress, how they talk, and so on. Now free education comes in and says, tiny people of Earth, we are educating you for free. TROM superhero asks the weight question again, what am I trading? And free education says nothing, it is for everyone, every corner of the world, every language. TROM superhero is like, wow, that's awesome. Let me check. So I have to finish this one course before accessing the other one. And free education is like, yes, this way we make sure that you learn the basics of this course before you learn the other parts. And the TROM superhero says, I see. And what is the reasoning behind this? And free education explains, well, if kids do not understand the basics of this course, they will struggle with the other parts of the course. And the TROM superhero is like, but why not let them figure out this by themselves or make them aware of that? If you put this limitation, you may inadvertently stop those who know the basics of this course from accessing the other more advanced parts of the course. I find this being a trade-off. You, in more than one way, lock courses behind achievements. I have to finish this course to get the other one. If this would be something I can change or would be an optional thing, then I would not consider this as a trade-off. So yeah, now the TROM superhero explains this thing of, instead of putting a barrier in front of people, you should let people do whatever they want to do, because they will do that anyway, but make them aware of dangers or what they should take care of, or point them towards things you might consider important to know. An example he shows us is a video taken in a safari park. So basically people can drive through the safari park with their cars and watch wild animals. And in this case you can see here is a family and here are cheetahs, and they are pretty much 10 meters away from each other. And now what the family does is more than just ridiculous. They are going out of their car to take photos of these cheetahs. They even take out the kid. It's and I mean, this is so dangerous, because if you're standing 10 meters away from a cheetah, he could just jump to you and kill you. So yeah, but they are lucky in this moment still, because in the next moment what happens is, I think it was towards the end of the video, basically here the cheetahs are going to the people over there. There are now more people, and they, I mean, just look by yourself. I mean, this is just crazy. People should not be so stupid to go out of the car in a cheetah enclosure. But I mean, they just did it, and they are super lucky that they didn't got killed of one of those. But yeah, don't put a law or rule saying you're not allowed to leave your car, but rather point out to people that it's very, very dangerous. If you do so, you might get killed. Another example is if you jump from a high building, to make a suicide, you should also not forbid that. You should let people do whatever they want to do, but you should rather come up with a proper environment that doesn't lead to such a way of thinking, or in another case you should provide a safe way for people to commit suicides. And the TROM superhero says, sure, this may sound like an awful idea, but I feel like it is more awful when you forbid people to do whatever they want to do with their lives. And he explains people should do whatever they want to do, and you as a society should make their environment in such a way that people are educated, relaxed, smart and do not engage into trades, or many thereof. A safari park that puts immense fines if anyone leaves their car will have little to no impact on the outcome, meaning it is not like those who get out of the cars won't do it because of the big fines, since that would be a minute issue compared to getting eaten by lions. Education seems to work much better in such situations. It's the same with an educational service. If you want to offer a trade-free educational system, the preferred method is to not put barriers in front of people. If one wants to learn, then you should make him or her aware of the best way you think this can be achieved, instead of forcing your way. So now free transportation comes in and the TROM superhero says, let me guess, you offer free transport for people, but maybe you shove ads into their faces for that. And free transportation is like, that's the only way to make it free for people. And the TROM superhero says, yeah, so it is not trade-free. A trade-free transportation system should never want anything from their passengers. It should not even know who travels. How many? Sure, for the purpose of optimizing the transport. But who? Never, unless people choose that. Make autonomous cars, trains, airplanes and make them trade-free in a way so that people, with the use of a simple trade-free app, can summon them or simply see when the next train or flight is, embark, go to their destination, and that's it. Data transfer should be encrypted and anonymized and collected for the sake of improving the transportation system itself and not to make a profit out of it. So this is now another important point, because it's about how you can provide a service in a trade-free manner if you have to have some data, like from people, for example. Like in the case of transportation, you need to know how many people are traveling, from where to which destination, at what time, in order to optimize things. And the TROM superhero explains, so in a sense you may say that people have to trade their data for this to happen. However, for one, if this data collection is for the purpose of improving the system, then that's hardly a trade, because it's a must for the system to work. And for another, if this data is encrypted and anonymized, then no one knows anything about your identity. And now free research comes in and the TROM superhero continues. It is like you, dear free research, if you want to conduct trade-free research and need data from people, you either collect it with a consent, like on a volunteer basis, or if it is a must, do it anonymously. Free research is asking, what if I need anonymized data for profit purposes? Say I collect anonymous data not solely for the purpose of improving my research, but I also do that because I need it to make my business more profitable. Being anonymized, is that trade-free? And the TROM superhero says, good point. And again, notice how the simple wait, the question what am I trading, is sparking very important discussions. In this particular case, I would personally say it is a trade because you want people's data to make a profit out of it, instead of wanting people's data to make that trade-free system better for the people and more efficient. So you see, it depends on how it's being used. So if you use it for your own profit purposes or for profit purposes of a company, then I would also consider this as a trade. But if you use it to make something better or more stable, more efficient, more sustainable, and it's not for profit purposes, then I would also not call this a trade. So now free internet comes in and the TROM superhero says, as always, wait, what am I trading? Free internet is like hardly anything. You connect to our internet and browse it. We don't censor the web, we don't slow down speeds and don't spy your traffic. And TROM superhero is like, so you really don't need anything from me? And free internet says, nothing man. If you have any device that connects to the internet, any app on it that allows you to browse it, you can simply do it. No need to ask us for permission, just connect. We have no idea who you are, what you visit and from where. The TROM is like, wow, that's awesome. You might truly be a trade-free internet. And then the bell is ringing and the TROM superhero checks the door, and then it's Facebook. And Facebook says, here's our social platform, you can use it, post photos, make posts, talk to friends, read news, and so much cool stuff. The TROM superhero says, wait, what am I trading? And Facebook is like, what you mean? And the TROM superhero says, simple, what am I trading here? Do you want anything from me in order to use this service? And Facebook is like, well, I mean, this is so funny because it's so obvious. Like, the TROM superhero says, do I have to log in order to use it? Do you want my data, attention, or my currency? And Facebook is like, well, it's not that I want these from you. And the TROM superhero says, but can I use Facebook without an account on your servers, without sharing any data with you, without having ads shoved into my face? Do you have this option? And Facebook is like, you cannot stop all data collection or remove the advertising, but it's for your own interest. Also, of course, you need an account. And the TROM superhero says, dear Facebook, give me a break with your charlatan moves. It's a simple question. Can I use Facebook without trading something to you like the above stated? And Facebook says, I guess not. TROM is like, see, that's what I'm talking about. And then Mastodon comes in and says, here's our platform, you can use it if you like to. Here too, you can post images, videos, share stuff, create posts, talk to friends and all that. The TROM superhero is again like, wait, what am I trading? And Mastodon is like, I guess nothing. We want nothing from you. We don't collect your data. We don't want your attention. We don't force you to make an account on our server. Actually, you even can take all of our code and install Mastodon on your own server and be completely in charge. The TROM superhero is like, see, that's a service that is trade-free. See, dear Facebook? And he continues with talking to the internet. Sorry, dear free internet. Now that everyone knows that you are here, the entire neighborhood is coming to my door with offers. The Googles, the Facebooks, the YouTubes, they want trades from me. And the TROM superhero talks to the kid again, saying that this question mark, the wait question, what am I trading, is a super cool tool to detect the trades. But then also, like, what about the BitTorrent traffic? Like, if you ask the free internet, do you block the BitTorrent traffic or do you block certain ports? If the free internet chooses to block certain ports or the BitTorrent traffic, then they will limit your internet access. And if you don't have the right knowledge to ask relevant questions, then you won't even know if you are trading. And for those of you who have never heard about the BitTorrent network, it's one that allows people to send or receive files in a decentralized manner, and without it, censorship of the internet becomes easier, and the internet overall will become a very centralized and controlled place if it would not exist anymore. So yeah, it's also important to know how to ask the right questions, and that might be also tricky if you don't know much about certain domains or certain fields. So we also need the exclamation mark, because the TROM superhero explains the question mark, the wait, what am I trading, is a simple and super efficient overall tool to detect trades, and it will work pretty well most of the time. However, we also need the exclamation mark. And the exclamation mark is about vaders. So basically, underneath the surface of planet Earth, there is a zone called vader zone. What does it consist of? There's a lot of earth, there are rocks and groundwater and all that. And of course it makes sense, like the better, the more healthier the vader zone is, the better is the outcome. Like the better crops we can grow, the better buildings we can build. It's like, you can also think about a plant, because a plant can only grow properly if the conditions are right. Like if there are enough nutrients in the soil, if the humidity is suited for the plant, and if it has enough space to also grow the roots and all that. But now the question is, why am I telling you this? I will explain in the next video, because in the next video we will meet the VADOS tool. The TROM superhero will show us the VADOS tool, which also provides a way of how we can make a trade-free good or service better, how we can improve it. And yeah, you'll see in the next video. So I'm just gonna say, I hope you liked this video. As always, you can check out all of our materials on tromsci.com. So see you in the next video. I'm just gonna say goodbye, and as always, take care and much love.